It is the 30th of December 1937 and China has capitulated. The Empire of Japan now controls all of mainland China, and as it has happened historically, we're starting to have a little bit of a resistance issue. It's not that great, but we seem to be having it under control for now, because if you look around, the resistance targets are actually not too bad. So as long as it's not spreading too much, I think we should be somewhat all right. Now, obviously, as soon as we're going to be at war again, things will start looking very, very differently. But looking around here, it's not all that terrible. And so far, we have our occupation under control. We're 100% efficient with the garrisons, and we are tying up a decent amount of manpower. But at this point, we might be asking our puppets for some more. But I also want to get these eventually integrated, because I want to have their aluminium. That is something I am usually short on. But let's have a quick look at what our resources are looking like. Yes, aluminium we're short on, but we do have a decent amount of tungsten. We're still quite close on steel, and chromium we have actually more than we need. But yeah, we did capture the southern China resource regions, so that hopefully sorts us out for a little bit. The one thing that we're obviously also missing is rubber. We are currently trading for rubber, which is less than ideal. We're trading with the Brazilians, and it's just about enough, but our production is going to ramp up, especially around aircraft. So there are a lot of things that we need to do, which brings us to our potentially future targets. The other thing that we're obviously lacking is oil. We could, as I mentioned, I think the episode before last, we could try to make our way through Afghanistan and into Iran. We could capture Tibet and extend, but there's nothing really in Tibet that I want except mountains. Just to have a larger front against the British Raj, that would be an option. And then also get Nepal and Bhutan. The much more interesting target for me at this point would be Siam, because we don't really want to, we're not in 1941 yet, we don't want to start the Dutch East Indies campaign. That'll be a little bit early to get into a war with the Allies at this point. France and England have just allied themselves, and I'm pretty sure if I was going to attack any of these holdings, then the Netherlands would join them as well, and effectively I'd be standing alone against the Allies 4 years early. So that's not an ideal situation. So let's not do that. Siam, on the other hand, is currently unaligned, and we might be able to plan a naval invasion from the south coast of China, just through the Java Sea here into Bangkok. Is this Bangkok? Can't really see it. Yeah, there we go. It's Bangkok, because that's literally the only port. Because we will not have any land bridge, so we will need to organize the naval supplies flowing through here. But let's have a quick look at what we know about Siam. They have no military factories devoted to aircraft. They have, I think, not an awful lot. We don't have enough intel to know anything about their production. But if we look at their army intel, they've got somewhere between 2 and 6 divisions, and they do have some airplanes, but it's probably old and outdated stuff. Our tactical bombers should be so we could pull our tactical bombers south, and they will definitely have the range to range from here, from this airport to from Hainan to cover this whole area. We need to build up these airports anyway, because they will be central towards any kind of effort that we're doing that we're doing against the British and anything else in Southeast Asia. We do have a couple of airports on the small islands here, but none of them is particularly large. So yeah, we could go through the South China Sea and the Gulf of Thailand and invade Siam, unless obviously somebody starts guaranteeing them, and then that's not going to happen. But yeah, this might be the war situation that we'll be looking at next. This is not going to be something that's going to occupy all our armies, so that's just probably going to be one army is going to be sufficient to start that invasion and take that out, and that'll sort out at least some of our rubber supply for now. So if we look at the resources, they do have a decent amount of rubber. So if we're ramping up the aircraft production, that would be a good thing. We are for now focusing a lot of our production on infantry equipment. And the other thing that I wanted to do was to look into something probably more interesting, ship designs. So one thing, and you have to bear with me here because I'm not super familiar with how these work, but one thing that I realized, because I haven't really done any naval gameplay, one thing that I realized is that we can only put 5 dockyards into our heavy ships. So this is going to take a while to actually get these built, which means we do need to get a move on. And if I'm going to look at our navy right now, we can see. Oh, do I have a way to see all of it? Not easily, but we do have currently 4 carriers. And I think we've got Ryujo still under refit, and we do have a couple of interwar battleships, and then a couple of old cruisers that are sitting. Most of our navies are built around the Fubuki class. And if we're looking at the Fubukis, they are, where are the destroyers? Let's not show outdated. Yeah. So the Fubukis are interwar destroyers, and while they're not bad as fleet screens, they have some anti-submarine capabilities, plus they are in need of anti-air, obviously. So we can do some more refitting here. But they do have a decent torpedo attack. They are still interwar models. They're not the fastest. Their Mach speed is relatively low. So getting the 1936 destroyer researched is one thing that we were going to be doing, but I am also going to need the ship designer for that, because I am currently thinking of getting the Pacific Fleet designer, such that we get additional deck size for once we research the next carriers. And for screens, this also means a max range. So we actually need to get that first, such that we get the max range improvements for the 1936 destroyers, which is the only 1936 technology that we haven't researched yet. So we're going to have to do that first, and then get these guys, and then probably get an Akatsuki class of fleet screens that we're going to be building. The other thing that we can look at is the Yamato class of super heavy battleships, because that's going to take forever to build those things, and we still have to actually research those. So that's also something we could do relatively urgently. Yeah. Other than that, there are a couple of things. So I am thinking of trying to go for battle cruisers, because we are currently a signatory of the of the London Naval Treaty, which historically the Japanese have been very unhappy about because of the tonnage limits that were imposed upon them, which were much lower than those of the British or the Americans. But given that the Americans and potentially also the British probably have a higher capability or a larger dockyard count than we do. Let's see if we can find that out. They are currently, how many dockyards? Yeah, they have 22 dockyards. The British have, what do the British have? The British have somewhere between 17 and 21. And we have how many dockyards? We currently have 19. So we're not too far behind. but we are a little bit behind in terms of production capability. So one thing we could do is we could cheat on the treaties to get us an additional 1,500 heavy ship production cost. And we could design ourselves a battle cruiser. I'm thinking of an early attempt at the Tosa class, potentially, which was the predecessor of the Amagi, which weren't, I think, officially battle cruisers, but we have to get a little deviation here. We could also try for a light cruiser, so we could try to get the Mogami class going, because our cruiser designs are all interwar models, and none of these are particularly great. So we could try to design ourselves a Mogami as a gun cruiser that we could start mixing in with the screens for the more modern fleets. We can't really refit any of our older battleships, so we do have the Nagato class here, and obviously even as it stands, we couldn't build any more of these, but they could do with some more guns, definitely, and they could do with some other things as well. But yeah, they're also dreadfully slow because they are obviously, well, battleship hulls and with battleship armor. So they're currently having the 305mm belt armor on them. I don't have the battleship armor 2, but we could get a Tosa class with a 203mm belt, which I think is a bit less than what they had, but sort of designate that as a battle cruiser and get that going. The other things that we need are fleet submarines. So the Japanese actually had submarines that were going with their fleets, and I know this is not particularly common because we do have the Yunsen, is it Yunsen? What's that I doing there? That's a typo. Let's get rid of that. Yunsen 1 class scout cruiser submarines, but other than that, the Kaidai 3 class is still on the interwar submarine hull, so we could get ourselves an attack submarine as well, and do the Yunsen 2 class. We could either go with the 1936 submarine hull. Can I put these next to each other? No, I can't really. So let's just try to compare them. So the cruiser submarines have a max speed of 16.8, and the 1936 submarines are a little bit faster, don't quite have the same range. Base reliability of 56. The cruiser submarines have a slightly better reliability, a detection of 20, whereas the 1936 model of the submarines are a little bit better in that regard. So for fleet submarines, I don't really need the range. Obviously, what we can do with the cruiser submarine designs, we could obviously go for something like this. Put all the engines in, and then get a really. We don't have a radar for these, but we could get the torpedo attack up to 54. Whereas with the 1936 submarine hulls, we could get the torpedo attack up to 36 only, because they are slightly faster, which makes them not quite ideal for fleets as well. So probably more of given the game mechanics and that the slowest ship operates like that, probably just really more like a picket line of submarines. But yeah, the Japanese were definitely having some pretty decent submarines. Actually, they just never used them very effectively, in more like with the fleets, not like free hunters. But yeah, having submarines that are a little bit more capable might also be something that we can do. Okay, lots of talking. So let's get going. I think given that we are we're still 1937. I do want to get the battle cruiser designs going, because I think when we're looking at heavy ships, and I'm not sure where I can see this. Can I show? We've got 5 carriers, 3 battle cruisers, and 6 battleships at the moment. I think the battle cruisers we have are all Kongo class interwar models. The battleships are Ise, Fuso, or Nagatos. We got a bunch of heavy cruisers, and we've only got 19 light cruisers and 102 destroyers. So not a great ratio. Not sure what I'm going to do with the heavy cruisers, because I think most of these designs are where are they? Heavy cruisers. we do actually have a Mogami class design, but as the heavy cruiser setup, and we have a Miyoko class here as well, which are all not very great. I'm not particularly keen on going into heavy cruisers too much. I'm more thinking fast strike force and eventually something around the Yamato class of big ones. But yeah, I think for the first thing that we're going to start kicking off, just because it's going to take forever, is a battle cruiser design. So let's go with the 1936 heavy ship hull, and let's see what we can squeeze in here. Actually, first let's cheat on the naval treaties, because we're going to need the additional tonnage that we can get, or production cost really. So let's do that. We don't want to abandon them quite yet. But we will eventually. For now, we'll just cheat on the treaties. That's done. And we're going to start designing our our Tosa class. So we start off with the 1936 heavy ship hull. And we're going to put some battle cruiser armor in here. Because if we started with battleship armor, we'd be spending a lot on too much on the production cost actually. So it'll get expensive very quickly, because the battle cruiser armor increases the overall production cost by 7.5%, the battleship armor by 20%. So if we're designing a treaty battle cruiser, then that's what we're going to be flying with. We're obviously starting with some heavy batteries. So one in front, we're going to stick some anti-air. We can refit these later when we have better modules. I just want to get going, because building the hulls is taking forever. And I don't have anything built on the 1936 hull. While I have it researched, I don't have any ships in service or even ship designs based on this hull. We don't have any radars right now, so that's not going to happen yet. We're going to stick a second heavy battery in there, and we'll have to see, because we have to keep the production cost below 11,500. We definitely want some secondaries. We are going to put another heavy batteries. These are 410. These are the nice and reliable 410 millimeter guns. So they're going to go in there as well. And we are coming relatively close. So let's see if I can stick some AA into the midsection still. Yep, can fit that in, but I think that's about it. That's as much as I can fit in here. Can I fit another one? No. Can I fit some secondaries in there? Nope. And definitely, I could fit a scout plane in there. So that would increase our detection capabilities, but not something I want to have on the battleships. Honestly, down the road, I would like to have another heavy gun in here, and make these really our we're going to call this the Tosa class of battle cruisers. Okay, and we're going to name them after we could go with historical battle cruisers. That includes the actual Amagi, which is a little bit weird. So we could go with, I think battleships were generally provinces. Rivers and mountains might work. Weather would be for destroyers, storms especially. Not going to go with the cities. Maybe we'll just stick to. It's not gonna be accurate historically, right? So we're just gonna stick with historical battle cruisers, and that's gonna be 41 XP. So we still got some left, maybe for a better submarine. So that's the Tosa class of battle cruisers. Okay, save that, and we're gonna get one going. Nope, we're gonna get one going. Put that up here. And we are already running low on dockyards. We're definitely going to be needing more dockyards. How's our production looking like? Because we're currently producing into the reserve fleet. So we've got a Kaidai 3 still running here. We finished the Ryujo refit, so this is now another Soryu class carrier. and that was the one we produced. This is formerly, I'm not sure why it's called that, but this used to be Ryujo. I don't know why they renamed that. There was no reason for that. They could have just left it as is. But this is one of our Soryu class, and we've got a second Soryu class. These were the coastal defense ships. We've got a second Soryu class carrier, so we can start actually building towards another carrier group. We are producing another Soryu class, so we've effectively got them on endless here, but it's going to take into 1939 until we get that thing finished. The Tosa class is going to be finished in 1941, provided we're not going to get some more dockyards. So we are going to get some more dockyards. But how many of the Shimushu class did we produce? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not a lot. We're going to need a lot more than that. So these are destroyer escorts, and yeah, we are going to need more production of these things. So how does it look? How would it look if I was going to? Sorry, I need to experiment with this a little bit because I've never really been playing Navy. So this is August 1942, and that's 1947. Yeah, not gonna happen. Cancel that. So January 1942 it is, unless we can devote some more, we can get 5 dockyards into this. We'll be building dockyards because 19 is not going to be enough. So dockyards is really going to be a thing that we'll be building. And yes, we could design another submarine, but I think given that we haven't even, have we built one of the Yunsens? No, we haven't even built one of these things yet. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more dockyards to get our Navy up to speed. So we're not even going to bother to design. We could design an attack submarine, I guess. Or we're going to maybe rather the light cruisers. There's only so many things you can really build. But I want to start modernizing our fleet a little bit. All right, so that's out of the way. Okay, what's our construction looking like? We're currently just still building infrastructure, honestly, just to get resources up. We've got 43 factories, which is not enough. We are going to need a lot more than that. We are getting a little bit from the Chinese though, so that's not too terrible. And we've got some repairs to do. I am going to start investing in dockyards most definitely. So around the Japanese home islands, once we've got the infrastructure up, we're going to get some more dockyards building, because these are things that we are going to need if we're going to have a navy. And I mean, we're Japan, we need to have a navy, right? So that's a whole lot of dockyards going to get building. And that's that. Now, our armies, which one of my generals? Let's have a look. Sorry, this is going to be a bit of an organizational episode because we've just done with the war. So I think the Third Army, Imamura was the one who was yes, he's the one who has got the naval traits. So he's going to be the one who's going to run our naval invasions, and the Third Army is going to be the one going into Siam. So let's have a look. We can either take the amphibious trait for extra supply grace, so which means that we're going to be able to survive. We're going to be able to survive longer before getting supply, or we get the shore bombardment bonus over here. We could probably get both. But I think the supplies are sort of something that's sort of more valuable for me. How many traits can you get? 2, I think. So let's see if we can get both. So yeah, okay, let's get both. So he's going to be our Imamura is going to be the one organizing naval invasions for us. Okay. The other thing I need to check is if we have the spirit set. We have the meticulous preparation and state serves the military for political power gain. which is good because we need more of that. And I don't really need those too much. I'm not sure if we need. We could get more breakthrough here eventually. That might not be a bad thing. Better recon, that's a thing. How about the Navy Command? We are going to Spirit of Naval Academy. Anything that gives my admirals better things, yes. We could get better maneuvering and coordination. Now, I'm not super familiar. Let's have a look at my admirals. Who we got currently? So we've got Osawa. We do have Yamamoto in, who's currently actually there. It's currently busy. No, I didn't want to do that. Hang on. Why did I do that? I'm not sure what I did. I think he was already there. I'm not sure why is he from the previous command. Didn't I have him already on command? Anyway, I did want to do another thing. I actually wanted to check what the coordination. I'm not 100% certain what these are, honestly. So speed while retreating and better positioning. Positioning is important. I presume coordination is important as well. So I think we're all pretty aggressive and we're going to do more damage, but I am wondering if we want to go towards, because you need to get these early, otherwise your admirals are not really going to level up that much anymore. Integrated air arm, aviation enthusiast, not really. We already have that. We give a no. Naval cost, no. I think it's either signals training or aggression, and I think most of my admirals, if I'm going to look at them right now, are pretty aggressive to begin with. We're not very good at defense, so that might actually also be something that we could get here, to have them to +1 defense on level up. But I think aggression and maneuvering and coordination sounds better. So I'm going to get the signals training here, and that's a good use for our XP. That allows us to if they get something good, then to use that. Okay. Other than that, let's reorganize the armies a little bit. So if the Third Army is going to plan a naval invasion, they need to not have these troops. So actually these two go over here. We do need all our marine divisions in the Third Army, obviously. We'll bring a couple of mountain capable troops, otherwise everybody is pretty well organized. Now, one thing that I was thinking about was to change the size of our marine divisions, because most of naval landings are going to be urban. So we do have a 96 width, combat width. So having something that fits into 96 might be a good 32 might be a good size for our marine divisions. They're currently 12 width, which is not very great. Let's see how much we can stick in there before it doesn't let us anymore. It's too expensive. Yes, I know that. I'm wondering if we could, at which point we'd need a lot, but we could start we can start working towards that. So we could just expand them to 18 width for now. Actually, let's not do that. Let's do this. Otherwise, it's a little ugly. And yeah, they might be able to do with some recon, but and maybe some. Can they actually take? Can they take artillery with them? I don't know. I mean, why not? Seems like not to be a problem. So that might also be something that we could actually start doing. So infantry, are they still capable of being Marines if I do this? Do I see? How do I see that? They should not be. Yeah, contains special forces. Okay, that should still count. So I can start adding some artillery in, which doesn't count towards the special forces cap that I have, and that'll give them a bit more of a punch, really, because they are really aggressive troops. So a bit line in. I mean, can't do 2 right now, but I can start adding some line artillery to get them going. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna do. So there we go. That's our army XP done. I am going to start training. How many of these can I train? 2. No, I want them to be actually larger. So we're going to start train 1 for now. This will depend on the overall size of our army eventually, I think. Okay, so that should do. That should be enough to get into Siam. Now we need some more. Political power to declare to justify a war goal against Siam. But I am already going to get them into a fallback line. From where are we going to start, actually? We could start from here. That's probably the closest port that we have, and prepare a naval invasion with, like, 4 or so. Okay, so let's get 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's get the more experienced troops going in first. So it'd be 4 for a naval invasion. Then the naval invasion order from here to Bangkok. Okay. Do we have 4 divisions designed? Do we have 4 divisions? No, I don't want to. Why am I only have 2 divisions assigned? Can I not assign any more? Okay. We'll figure that out. Yep, I've got all 4 going, so this should be fine. The rest of this army is going to head into a fallback line. Just around here, or no, actually not these 2. No. These 2 are supposed to be on the invasion order. There we go. The rest of them, so everybody who's not in the invasion. Who did I send? These 2. Everybody who's not in the invasion, get into a ready position, and just position yourself. This is all awkward because we do have to go across here to get to the port, and I don't want to have them sit all in one place. I mean, we can try to just have them sit here. Let's see what that looks like supply wise. So let's get them to truck over there. The second army is effectively going to be not dissolved, but all these troops, and I mean we've got some experienced troops here, but all these troops are going to go into the homeland defense because we are not going to be using them for anything else right now. Because once we are getting into trouble, so that is no longer service no longer required. Let me put it that way. We're going to get our colonial troops to. Oh, actually, yeah, we need the homeland defense to set up port defense as well. So they need to include our freshly conquered Chinese colonial possessions here. I mean, when I say colonial, I mean, of course, that everybody is in the Greater East Asian co-prosperity sphere, which means that it's in East Asia, and I prosper. Right. Okay. So we got these guys over there. Let's get the colonial troops sort of. Just in case the Soviets are having any funny ideas, let's position them there, and then they can just sit there. The first army, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the first army at this point. We may just actually leave them. I'm going to get them somewhere where they have supplies. So I'm just going to leave them on the Chinese mainland for now. Just stick them on a fallback line and have them sit there. And then everybody can. Does anybody need to exercise? Yes. So we can train up all troops that need training up at this point. Okay. We are missing a lot of things because our airplanes are. We're only producing tactical bombers still at this point, and and a small smattering of naval bombers, but not a great amount. These are also not particularly great. So and we're short on aluminium as well. So that's the thing. Can we trade for more aluminium? Because we are going to need more fighters. Who's got aluminium? We're already getting everything out of Manchukuo, and the rest we would have to trade with people we don't like. So I might Yugoslavia, maybe? I mean, we could trade with the Germans, I guess. Yeah, why not? So let's get 8 aluminium from the Germans, and that strengthens that a little bit and sorts out our aluminium and production issues. Okay, we're still short. We're short on infantry equipment. I don't think so. I think we've got plenty of infantry equipment actually. But yeah, we do have to keep an eye on our garrisons, which means that our spy is going to be going wherever there's the most resistance, which is currently up north here, really. And so she's in a good place there, just to root out the resistance. We are going to need to start upgrading our intelligence agency. So we're going to start with the anti-partisan, because that actually helps us with the resistance problems, because that'll get us a second operative. And I would like to have, even though I think Siam is not going to be an issue, but how much do we need to declare war to justify on these people? We need 26 more for a total of 41. Okay, not too bad. All right, everybody is moving into position. These guys are shipping off to the small islands, where they are going to temporarily be positioned just in case we get into any trouble. And the other thing, we need to start exercising our navy. And I think I am going to start with. This doesn't actually look too bad. So let's get Carrier Group 1 trained up, and see how that looks in terms of fuel. And that looks... I'm not sure why we are having our Air Force doing anything. None of these people should be doing anything. Okay, stop what you're doing. And you two, you have nothing... Oh, someone is training, that's why. Okay. Do we still need to train anyone? Okay, we'll train anyone who needs training. You two, you don't need any training. But we do have... we can start another naval bomber wing here somewhere. So, but with 4 bombers it doesn't make an awful lot of sense. Okay, so the Air Force is taking a little bit, but obviously we are desperately lacking. So let's see what else we can train. So this looks like we're still good. Oh, Italy! Oh, come on, really? Just when I'm cheating on it, the escalator clause gets involved. So I could have saved that political power if I had known that the Italians are going to abandon it. Well, that's a shame. I could have just abandoned it. I don't have the naval XP right now to do much about it. And I've already started building the Tosa class, although there's virtually no progress. But I do kind of want... I want the ship designer. So Kura would be good for capital ships, but I think I want Yokosuka. So I want that for the range. And because we're gonna have to cover the Pacific, which means do I have to spend 25? It's fine. It's fine. We'll stick with it for now. I could have just saved myself and just exited the whole thing anyway. Do we have any other text to research around the naval tech here? This is what does this give us? This gives us the what is that? That is the better. Is that a better battle cruiser armor? I already have the level 2 battle cruiser armor, right? Hang on. Let me figure that out. So where's my battle cruiser designs? Tulsa class. So So that is the 203mm belt, 120mm deck, level 2 battle cruiser armor. And if I was to research the inclined belt armor scheme, yeah, that is that. Maybe it just improves it. Same weight and thickness are much harder to pierce. Useful, definitely something we could do. But I think these are just passive buffs. They don't. Maybe they give me better battleship armor actually, but I'm not building any battleships. We also have a couple of research things to do down here. Turreted secondary batteries might be a decent thing. So we can have better secondaries. 78 days is relatively quick. Is the naval designer give us naval research speed? That is a good question. Yes, it does. So we probably want to focus on other stuff right now. We're not going to research the fighters because we're working towards the 0. We are having the tactical bombers already researched, and the other ones are still far ahead. How about infantry equipment? That is actually, yeah, that needs doing, and that is still out of time. Yeah, so let's get the infantry equipment research out of the park so that we can focus on these other things. Okay, and then we'll just continue for a bit and let it run. So right now I just want to see what else I can exercise in my navy. I think I want all my submarine groups exercising. That looks decent. We are starting to see. Okay, hang on. One thing at a time. We have another Kaidai 3 class. So you go in there. We are. Did I have some escort groups? Yes, I did. These. What are these? These are Momi class. Oh, they're dreadful. We could upgrade these to the Shimushu class, actually. That's a decent idea. Let's get these all refitted to the Shimushu class destroyer escorts. Yep, go ahead. And you are Momi class as well, so we're going to get you refitted into the Shimushu class. Okay. And you are all Momis as well, except for those who are Mutskis. Can we get you into the Shimushu class? And how about you to refit? Yes, we can. Okay, so these are because these are going to be escort fleets anyway. So these 3 Shimushus are going to be assigned to this group. And then we've got a bunch of Fubukis. And we have another carrier. So we can actually start a second carrier group here. Which means I am going to need to merge some of these groups, especially the things that only have cruisers, and these are really just more reserves. I think I'm going to actually move these to reserves. Like the things that only have heavy cruisers and like destroyers are going to go into reserve for now. You've got the Kirishima. As the Congo class, but the rest is all Fubukis and other things. So we're going to move you to reserve. That's got Hauna, Congo, and a couple of other things. And this one's got the Fuso, a Yuga Ise, and a couple of cruisers as well. So I am thinking of kicking all these heavy cruisers out because these are all well, the Mogami class is not bad. So Mogami class we can leave in there, but the other ones aren't great. So these are like really small. We'll put these into no, the whole thing, please. We put these into the reserve fleet for now, and we only leave the carrier group. So this one's got the carriers. It's got Nagato and Fuso. We've got 2 Miyokos in here. We could. We can refit these into Mogamis. What were the Mogamis looking like? The Mogamis are not terrible. But these are heavy cruisers, so they're capital ships actually. Don't really want heavy cruisers all that much. So we made, but these are at least modern cruiser hulls. whereas the other stuff is relatively old. Especially the light cruisers are a big problem, because all these light cruisers are not great. But we'll leave these here for now, and we will get these to train up as well, and we get this group to train up as well, and the rest can just all merge into a large blob of, not these guys, into the reserve fleet. So we've got a lot of things in reserve for now, but at least we are starting to train our navy, which is great. Even though these submarines are, can these train? No, these submarines are rubbish. So that's the thing. Okay, we've got a research slot because we researched something and I completely forgot what it was. Was it the depth charges? It could have been the depth charges. Let's get the. Is there anything around supports that I want to get out of the park? I'm thinking of getting the. That's taking a long time. We're not going to do tanks really. This would give us the 25 millimeter AA guns for the ships, which are a bit better than what we've got now. So this needs researching. So, and this doesn't give me any ship tech. No, this is just for tanks. But yeah, the AA. We also need to do the electronics. Oh yeah. Oh, that needs doing. Yeah. Okay. That takes priority. Okay. And we are getting better tech. We are running out of fuel, but that's okay. We just want to train up our navy. Okay. The Spanish Civil War is over, apparently. So who won? Spain won. No, I think the nationalists won. They generally do. So that's the thing. Active sonar is done. Yeah, I want. Okay, my next political power will go into declaring on Siam, and then we're going into the ship designer, and then we're going to start building that all up. In the meantime, we are going to get some infantry research out of the way that has been laying around here. And our fuel situation, given our imports that we're currently taking, and I think we get a little bit of fuel. How much are we importing right now? So I really don't like importing all that much if I don't have to. We're currently importing 16 from the Soviets. We're importing a lot of aluminium. We are importing rubber, and the rest of the stuff we actually have. So, yep, that's the thing. How's our equipment? Equipment's actually looking good, except for the planes. So I might pull back a little bit on the. I might pull back a little bit on the infantry equipment, honestly, because currently I think, yeah, our resistance is actually decreasing. That's not, I don't know what I just did there. Our resistance is actually decreasing most of the time, and our operative is still in the right spot. This also gives us some naval experience, so we can actually probably design a couple more things that we need while this is happening in the background. Submarines. We wanted an actual proper attack submarine, and I think I might actually stick with the cruiser submarines because of the additional power that they have. So we get the engine 2 in there. Sorry, before we do that, because I also need the light cruisers, let's see what a proper light cruiser would look like. We can base this off. Do we have any existing light cruisers? No. We do not have any existing light cruisers, so we don't really have to do that from scratch, actually. Unless we take a heavy cruiser design, like the Mogami class, and flip these out for light guns. And then we'd have if we wanted these into light cruiser guns, we can get sonar as well. Oh, we need to do that and upgrade our. Okay, hang on. Yep. The Republic is defeated. Okay. I forgot. We need to refit the Shimushu class with sonar because they currently don't have any. So that goes there, and we'll save that for 5. Okay. So we don't even have any dockyards to refit all these. We need so many more dockyards. And this has obviously instantly once again deleted the name. So this was the destroyer escort Shimushu, yeah, Shimushu -A class, Shimushu 2. Let's go with Roman numerals. Okay, rename that. So we are only going to make one more of those, and then we're going to start with the Shimushu 2 class. Once everybody here is refitted, because oh, actually no, these are all okay. I wanted to refit. I'm refitting these to the wrong. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop all these. Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to do that again, because these are now refitting to the Shimushu class, and then I have to refit them again to the Shimushu 2 class, which is not sensible. So what we'll do is we'll get everything refitted into the Shimushu 2 class, which should be potentially our... let's make sure that that's actually correct. Is that our final... could we get... Oh, depth charge 2 as well. Okay, so now it's our final version of the Shimushu class destroyer escort. And then we have to do that again. Destroyer escort Shimushu 2 class. Okay, let's save that. And then we are going to... Yeah, we're starting to build the Shimushu 2 class, and we will finish up one of the Shimushus, and now we need to refit everybody else. Okay, so, oh my gosh, what happened here? Get everybody into one group, and I'll split you up later. How does that sound? Yeah, that's a bit more. That's a bit more what I wanted. So. Get you all, hang on, these are all, yeah, everybody here, so we'll select all of these. I don't know if there's a faster way of doing that, but right now I'm just going to click my way through here and select all of these, and this is going to be refitted for the Shimushu 2 class. Okay, off you go. I need more mine layers as well. That'd be a thing. Okay, we've got 3 military factories, and we're producing outdated. That's the Shimushu class. Yeah, we just want to let that finish up. I am going to build more tactical bombers right now, because that's kind of where I'm going at this point with this. We've got that finished, so let's kick out the next one, anti-partisan. We can also become the spy master, but we're not planning to have an awful lot. The other thing, I will work towards getting these guys eventually next, because they are, if I look at my subjects, I want them to be not having as much. I want them to get down to be down to a next. But I need a lot of political power, and I need, because they're exporting to us, they're actually gaining independence. And it's this, they contributed to the war score, so they're gaining independence. So I'm going to start lowering their independence, actually. And I'm going to do that by sending them some ships. None of the good ships. But I am going to start lend-leasing them. Convoys, because that's the only thing I can, although I'm not producing any right now, but we can fix that. So 1 per month. I'll send you a convoy, and I can also send them some other outdated equipment potentially, but convoys are good. That's one way to do it. They need convoys anyway, right? Everybody needs convoys, right? So send you some convoys, and we can also, yeah, we can do that. Okay. Yep, we'll send them some convoys. We're actually going to need to have to fix that such that we're actually producing convoys. Because right now the convoys are, where are they? They are not producing. So the convoys need to be produced, at least one of them. Okay, carrier warfare experiments are done. That gives us a doctrine cost reduction, and we're going to go down the first air fleet, and then the fighter modernization. This is just a research bonus, so we don't really need that quite yet. This enables the Mitsubishi Designer, which is the next one we're going to need to get. Right, oh, that means we can't even get the Destroyer Designer yet, because we need to get the Mitsubishi Designer first. Okay. So let's unlock that so I don't forget. None of this is anything urgent, but yeah, we got to get these out of the park, and the next 150 goes into the Mitsubishi Designer, such that once we get the 0. Oh, the Germans are starting to have some fun with the Anschluss. And but we are at least now exercising our navy. Fuel refining research is done. More excavation, please, because I do want to keep up with these. So I am running short on all kinds of resources. I think steel is just barely holding up here, and especially aluminium is always an issue. Can we actually? What do we need? Yeah, if we get the excavation tax, this will unlock some mining things we can do. We also need to do these because we're unbalanced towards the army. So actually, this means that our dockyard output is actually reduced, which is not good. We need to flip that. So we are going to need to take so many things. Naval aircraft, because that reduces the production cost for our zeros once we have them, and gets the dockyard output back up. We can also do draft exemptions. This just generally increases factory output and dockyard output and balances us back. This might be actually a better one to take. Draft exemptions, and I think the indiscriminate conscription is the other one, which imbalances it more towards army, but we're good on army. Yeah, I think we're going to take the draft exemptions because we are going to need our dockyard output, and that actually gives us 15%. Okay, let's take this. That means we should be balanced again. Yes, we are balanced, and hopefully that reduces a little bit the time that we're going to need to actually finish our ships here. Okay, yeah, and I think on that note, we do have 15. I'm going to design one more ship here, and I'm going to have a quick look if we can get the Mogami class refitted into a light cruiser, because I want the Mogami to be a light cruiser, and if that would be cheaper than doing it from scratch. So that would take 9 so far. I am going to replace that with more light batteries, because that's not going to be a scout cruiser. We don't need the sonar on these things, and we do want the torpedoes on there. So that gives us. I am actually thinking of replacing that with a rapid firing battery for more firepower on these things. Honestly, rather fewer torpedoes and more firepower on them, and this one as well. Okay, we need 21 experience for that, so we can't quite do that yet, but they'll get our light attack up quite a bit. Actually, why is this? No, this is supposed to be a light cruiser. Oh, I did the wrong one. Right, hang on. I want the light cruiser battery. No, not the destroyer guns. Oh, help me. No. We want the light cruiser guns. That looks better. So, it will become a screening ship. We actually just need 18 for that, and she'll have a pretty good light attack. So, and it's still pretty quick. So these will be. So that'll be 18. If we do this from scratch, it'll probably be more, but let's have a very quick look. If we are looking at light cruisers, 36 cruiser hull. So let's do this from scratch. Yeah, I can tell already. This is going to cost more if we do it from scratch. So we're probably going to, we're going to take the Mogami design and change it into a light cruiser design. And then we may be able to refit some of our existing Mogami heavy cruisers into light cruisers. That is probably a good way. We just need to get up to 21 naval experience. And we are actually getting quite a bit from the naval exercises. Is there anything else we can exercise since we're at it? Let's exercise everybody, really. Yeah, I don't care. Everybody gets exercises. We've got our first cruiser submarine. Okay, you go over there, and you all you all exercise. Perfect. We've got the first cruiser submarine, and we've got another Shimushu class who can go into this group for now. There we go. And we've got some unassigned divisions. Yeah, I'm just going to burn through the fuel right now and run our naval exercises. And I think we can, if we let this run for a little bit longer, we actually have enough for the Mogami class. And we've got 2 unassigned divisions, so we are going to put them into the First Army right now. We are still good on equipment, honestly, so we can actually continue. I think we are. We're still having we're having such a surplus on infantry equipment that I might actually pull back a little bit on that and get that back into 15 like this, and that'll means we actually have some free. We can build some more tactical bombers because these are also going to help. Well, we'll leave that at 20, but we can start building. Do we have any other planes that we want? We don't. We're going to build the Zeros, so carrier naval bombers maybe. That might be something we can just kick off here. I'm not sure why I have the actual naval bombers as in the. I'm going to cancel this line here, and we're going to start building carrier naval bombers. I'm not sure why I'm building the land-based naval bombers, because the carrier-based naval bombers can do both, really. And while they are, I think, a little bit more expensive, we may as well just cancel this line and leave that in here. Okay, there we go. And just put any factories we got into that, such that we have a bit, because I think we are. We are short on carrier naval bombers, so we're going to build more of those. Okay, let's just get to 21, then we can design. Yeah, there we go. And let's do that naval design, and then we'll call it a day for today. So the Mogami class is going to be refitted. So we're going to call you the Mogami 2 class, because that is going to be the refit. Rename that. Oops. And then we're going to variant that and replace this with light cruiser guns. The rationale here is that I want these as my screen. I want these in my screens such that they can deal with enemy destroyers, and are going to be as effective as they possibly can. What did I forget? No, they're not getting these. I already have the fire control system. I don't have any better fire control systems in there yet. I said 21, right? And yeah, this turns it into a screening ship. And of course, it's changed my name again. This is the Mogami 2 class. Historical light cruisers. And that's we don't have any better AA yet, so that's good. We don't have any better secondaries yet. And we've got cruiser armor in there, so they're going to be reasonably well armored, 31 knots. And yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we've got the Mogami 2 class, and now we can have a very quick look at our strike forces and see if anything here can be refitted. This has no cruisers, and it needs cruisers, but I think one of them had cruisers that I could refit, or I did put them all back into the. Can I not filter by that? Okay, these are all destroyers. Where did I put them? I thought I had some cruisers that I could refit. And these are all Miyoko. Oh, because they're heavy cruisers and I can't refit them as light cruisers? Is that what you're telling me? Well, that's a shame. Can I not refit? into the Mogami 2 class? Yeah, I can. Okay, so let's find our heavy cruisers and refit them. Okay, so these are all early hulls. I can't refit those because they're a different hull, obviously. But this is a Mogami. This is the Mikuma. Can I not? This cannot be a Mogami just yet. This is probably because I just renamed it. This is all early cruiser hulls, so we just need to find the existing ones. There we've got, and I remember there were two here. Yeah, we've got the two Miyoko class hulls. We're gonna refit those into the Mogamis. And do we have anything in here? If I filter that by heavy cruiser, can I filter that? Not really. So you are all going to be refitted into Mogamis. And there we go. Anybody else? Anybody else need a refit? Step forward. Early cruiser hulls everywhere. Early hulls, early hulls, early hulls, early hulls. Okay, all early hulls. Perfect. I think that was it. And we've got an enormous queue for our future dockyards to go and start refitting. But yeah, we are going to need an awful lot of dockyards. Actually, we're going to need more dockyards than that. Go to the Japanese home islands and build me some more dockyards. Where can I build more dockyards? More dockyards. We're going to literally fill that with dockyards, I think, is what we're going to do. All right, that's it. I'd say we leave it there for today. Next episode, we are going to start justifying against Siam and giving our army something to do while we are building up our navy. We're in February 1938, and it looks like I think we're looking pretty good. The navy does need work, obviously. We're going to need a lot of work to Tosa classes back to September 1939. Perfect. So yeah, we're going to need a lot of work around here, but we'll also at some point try to get out of the we could actually just abandon the treaty right now, but it's not worth it. There's nothing we need to do right here. We've just cheated on it because we also need the aircraft designer, and we need the ship designer, and there's a hell of a lot of things that we need to do. So I think that'll keep us busy. And yeah, if you're more into the actual combat, that'll take a while until we have a naval invasion of Siam going, and then we're going to get ready to take on the British fleet. So but yeah, we're probably going to wait until 1941 when the Germans are, depending on how busy the Germans are going to be. But I want the Allies to be at war with Germany and Italy, such that they don't have necessarily the naval capacity to defend their colonies, and then our army is going to be busy conquering again. So until then, it's going to be a bit more buildy, but hopefully it was still interesting with the whole naval thing around. That's it for today. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.